So the question is, what is next, and what are we really expecting next? And so when if we get a team that we can line up with, and I really kind of get an idea of where those birds are, I think we're okay. And I know there's a lot of great players, and JT will be even a little more healthy this week, based on that injury, and everything about the game is we're going to live up, and this football team's going to play very well. And I don't know if I need any more answers or just go execute what I know we can do.
As a position coach on the offensive side of the ball, do you look at this offense and is it in some ways more complete than it was a year ago?
Boy, that's a great question. The one thing about this offense is, and we had a little bit of I don't know what the word was, the couple bad things happened to us, at Penn State a couple of weeks ago, and kind of got in that lull. Then we ended up picking it up in the overtime. But when you look at this offense, the thing that keeps telling me over and over and over again, who do you stop? I mean, you look at it, the word complete in my mind comes really into the picture because our X receivers are making plays, our Z receivers are making plays, our tight ends have had some plays down the field. Against Maryland, we had 2 vertical throws and catches against them, and we had one, I think, also against Rutgers. And then you look at the running backs, and they're catching the ball, they're catching the ball in passes, they're running screen plays, they're getting the ball in certain runs. We're being able to perimeter run. We've had some nice north and south runs. So when you look at it, it's a very complete offense. And I always wonder, I said, what do you really walk in, say, okay, I got to take this person away or that play away, because we are very versatile in what we do. And sometimes, when you have those little lulls in the games, mostly it's because you're playing the checker game. There's that little adjustment. Now the checkers are moving, right? And can we get the checkers to line up the way we want them to line up to make the plays that we want? And that's really where it is. I mean, we're obviously in that position sometimes during the game where they're going to make us make the adjustments. But I really like what we're doing. That you can obviously sense, the staff's been together for 3 years on the offensive side of the ball. There's a lot of things that is already happening in motion before the thought comes up and being verbalized, that you can see that we can make adjustments pretty quickly in a game, and that part of it's really good. So that, to me, it's very versatile because it can hit you and attack you in a lot of different ways.
The other thing I wanted to ask you, what's Urban like to work for in a week like this?
Like this one? These are the good weeks, to be real honest with you. Because you know what? Everybody knows what the price is. What really, and as a head coach, he has a job to do. It's the weeks where would you be complacent are the worst weeks to work for any head coach. Because what happens is he's not allowing complacency. So weeks like this, are you kidding me? It's all business, and here we go. But everyone's really focused from the manager up. Everybody knows what's at stake, and everybody loves the opportunity to go up there and compete. I mean, really looking forward to it. I mean, we're all wired to go do this, right? I mean, this is what it's all about. Let's go play.
Yeah, Tim. That said, last year I was asking Urban what gave you guys problems defensively from them. Obviously, that 4th and 2 play, Jeff D'Anico's out and didn't quite match up and stuff. How often do you bring those things up this week or show?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if I show it too many times to Jeff, he'll jump off a building, so I'm not going to show him that play very often. It took me a week to bring him back down to earth after that game, I can tell you that one. Here's the thing, you look at it, and defensively, when you look at what they're going to try to do, the one thing about Michigan State over the last several years, they don't change much. They are who they are. What they do is they know their defense extremely well. There's little intricacies in that play. For example, they went double rifle blitz. They hadn't ran it all game long. It was the only snap of that in that game, which obviously we practiced against it, and the doggone blitzer didn't blitz what he had really shown in practice. I mean, we've shown him in practice in other games, because I think the blitzer made a mistake, to be very honest with you. And then all of a sudden he recovered, and Jeff wasn't able to recover with it, right? So you look at it, you say, and that's how fine line it is when you play a team like Michigan State, because I'm going to give you all a really insight. They're going to line up and play 4-3 quarters, and they're going to press the number 1 receivers, right? I mean, what week haven't they done that in their entire last 9 years or 10 years, however they've been at Michigan State? That's what they're going to do. The thing is there's a lot of little integral battles going on about how they're going to play their front, how they're going to line up and where they're getting their rotations in the secondary to get run fits and those things. That's where the battles will come in, and that's what makes it all fun. That's just the strategical part that you absolutely love, and we're looking forward to that challenge.
Just after y'all look forward to another shot. You know what I mean? I mean, y'all got them up there.
You mean like when you lose a game, you look forward to playing another opponent? I don't. I mean, that at them. Yeah, you know what? I think absolutely we're all competitive. You know what I mean? I grew up the youngest of 5 boys. Whenever I lost one of my brothers in a game, I was going to go out and play. Let's go play another one. You know what I mean? So I think we all have that in us, and we do know the challenge, Joe. I mean, it's a good football team, and they're a well-coached football team. And they know their stuff very well. Again, it's a staff that's been together for a long, long time, and they know their system. They know what you're going to do, and our job is to execute a game plan really flawlessly.
Yeah. Mark D'Antonio, what do you remember about when you chose to leave Cincinnati to go to Michigan State? What do you think of the program he's done?
In reality, I was in a car with the suitcases in a car driving towards an airport, and then I called Mark and said, Mark, I can't go. I'm going to stay at Cincinnati. So I was supposed to have gone with him. So I do know Mark very, very well. The thing that's really interesting about with Mark and that group, that they have a unique way of saying, okay, I'm going to put the chip on my shoulder somewhat. There's going to be something come out of this press conference. I'm going to guarantee you they're going to put on a bulletin board somehow, some way the world's against them. I mean, they do. That's been their MO since the day I've known them, and they're going to do a great job of playing that out. Mark is a phenomenal coach. They're really good people, and the bottom line is that they're going to have an element of toughness, which they bring to the day. They're not afraid to surprise you with some things that if you haven't seen, and obviously, whether it's a fake punt, a fake field goal, or one of those things, they're not afraid to bring that out and expose it to you. They're gonna. Those kids have been in some really big games lately, and I mean some really big games, and they don't, they don't back down. So I think, and Mark does a great job of preparing them to play in those kind of games. So I look forward to the challenge. Obviously, he's a long time and will be a lifetime friend. And the bottom line is it's time to go play the Spartans. So.
Work for both of you. What's the difference between Mark and you?
Oh my gosh, it would take a long time to talk about that difference. Only because everybody is different, and I've had, the unique pleasure of working for a few different people, and, with Mark Antonio and Brian Kelly and Urban Meyer here in the last 10 to 11 years. And, they're each unique in their own way, and each are great coaches and special people, and they all know how to do their job very well. And it would take a long time probably to sit down and explain all those.
You have the luxury of having 2 good veteran tight ends with Jeff Hireman and Nick Van Nett. If something would happen to those guys, how close is Marcus Ball being able to hold the fort down there for you guys?
He's really made strides. He started on 2 special teams on Saturday. Very pleased with his results on those special teams, and he's made a lot of strides. He got 8 or 9 plays in the game Saturday, and he didn't grade out as well as I'd like for him to. But that's part of the learning and experience, and I get it. There's really an improvement in him. I mean, his off-the-field stuff has been fantastic. His on-the-field stuff is improving. He got to the point where, you guys all know by the media, is Coach Meyer's pretty particular about who he runs down on kickoff. And he was the starting number 3 on kickoff, which is, a phenomenal thing for us. So, it was a great challenge for him, and I'm glad he got an opportunity to do that.
Sam Hubbard, do you think his future is at tight end? And do you have some arguments with Coach Johnson, like some fights?
Well, there's going to be a lot of arguments over great players. The bottom line is whatever's going to be best for the team in the end, that's where he'll be. Because he's a great young man. Works at the game really hard. Will dedicate his life to being a great Ohio State Buckeye. And where that all ends up, I don't know. But I do know this. There will always be a fight for a good player.
Does he work with you guys, or is it with the defensive ends?
Predominantly right now, he's more going with the defensive lineman. Yeah. But we spot him wherever we need him in practice. The scout teams, I don't think sometimes that gets lost in the message. Is scout teams this time of year are absolutely huge. and how well they perform against you is really how well you're going to play on Saturday. So we put him where we need him to get the job done.